Good morning. It is Wednesday, July 26, 2017. It is 10 a.m. instead of our usual 9 a.m. This is the Bitter Knitters. My name is Jacqueline, and I'm here with Arthur.
Hey.
Good morning. How you doing this morning?
I've been better.
Haven't we all?
Yeah.
I want to say a quick happy birthday to my friend Kat. Happy 19th birthday, Kat. I hope you're having a great day. She's not 19. So, kind of an impromptu show. We have no plans, so we're just kind of gonna wing it. You probably won't even be able to tell. It'll be so professional, you'll never even notice that we don't know what we're doing. But we are. And the first thing I kind of want to talk about, I was thinking about this, mentioned it to Arthur. You know, when you do these like BuzzFeed and they're like, what period should you have lived in? What decade should you live in? And I always think, it's kind of a hard time to decide, because part of me would love to go back to like even the old days, and observe. But I think if we're going from like, say, the 1900s until the present day, two places. I loved the 80s. I grew up in the 80s as a teenager, loved them. I think I would love to experience as an adult. But I really kind of am interested in the 1920s and the 60s, the whole kind of summer of love,
the hippie movement, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like the 20s always is interesting because it was like, the time for women to kind of really find themselves,
exactly.
Get out of the
movement.
corset, suffragettes. You had the prohibitions. So there's speakeasies, jazz was coming out, movies were starting. It was, what a revolutionary time to live.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know, I mean, for the music alone, for me, 70s and the early 80s, that's kind of when I think I would have been in my prime.
Now, rock music, or are you talking new wave too?
Well, rock and punk. New wave was all right. Even the emergence of hip hop. It just, it was the last time, except for maybe the early 90s with grunge, but it was the last time there was like a real emergence of new musical ideas,
Original.
Exactly. And, as someone who like eats, sleeps, and breathes music, that's kind of my deal.
And before people were sampling music.
Right.
I don't mind it sometimes when you're listening to a song and you hear that hook that's so familiar to you. But other times it's like sacrilege to me.
I feel like it's such a cop-out to do that. Yeah. There was a Jay-Z song in the early 2000s with that Forever Young hook. And I was like, no, you lazy son of a bitch, write your own fucking hooks.
Yeah.
Like you took a #1 hit song and and you just threw some stupid fucking words over it. No, I have no respect.
Did the same thing with Hard Knock Life in the 90s, right?
Exactly.
From Annie.
Well,
I remember being really upset when Ice Ice Baby came out. At first. Then, of course, I loved it. I remember someone who was a huge fan of that song when he was a very little boy.
Yeah, well, that kid was dumb.
His name was Arthur.
Yeah, that kid was dumb. That kid might still have that CD, too.
Rocking it as we speak.
Yeah. I don't know. It's so easy to kind of pick one from our kind of lifetime, though. You know what I mean? Like, you said you'd like to go back to the 70s, even the 20s. Like, we're not that far removed from it. No. But in all honesty, for me, it'd be to go back into the BC times. I'd love to see how the pyramids were constructed.
That'd be amazing. My only worry, I'd want to only go back if I could not catch a disease.
Well, yeah.
Not become someone's slave.
Yeah.
So, like, kind of be, like, invisible.
Yeah,
and
sure
observe.
Enough.
I'd love to observe, watch how, the pyramids were made. Watch, just like all different things. Like, watch the whole history of Henry VIII or, ancient Greece, Socrates, all this kind of amazing stuff that happened.
Like, they're just, exactly, like, be a fly on the wall watching Alexander the Great go and conquer half the world. Or even Genghis Khan go and conquer half the world. That would be really interesting to see.
Yeah. But I don't want to get swept up in no war, or, you know what I mean? That's why it'd be cool if you could observe. If time travel ever happens, I hope we can just go back and observe. That way, all we could do is kind of be like I don't even know how you would describe it, like just outside of the universe, the 3D universe we live in, and we can observe, but they can't see us. Yeah. Like, did you ever watch Star Trek Next Generation?
No, I'm not a Trekkie.
Or was it Voyager? Okay, there was one, I can't remember, it might have even been Voyager, where they were kind of, because how one of their I can't remember the word that they use, but they don't interfere. So when a race or a people or a planet is kind of evolving into what they're supposed to be, they don't go and just give them technology. They don't tell them there's other people in space. So there was one where they were kind of like shielded, I guess. I don't even know what the word would be. They were invisible, but they were observing. And it was kind of, that's how I
was it. The conscientious observer or some shit like that.
Yeah, sort of that. I can't remember what they have the whole thing. I'm sure if anybody's a Trekkie, let us know. I know they have that. The Prime Directive.
Oh, okay, yeah,
the Prime Directive. Do not get involved. Do not interfere. And basically conscious observer, only observe. So if a planet is supposed to, die out because the sun is coming and they don't have the technology to stop it, well, that's what's going to happen. So, any period in time besides the ancient Egypt that you'd really want to go to? I'd like to do like mysterious things, like what happened to the people at the Roanoke.
Oh yeah, see that would be pretty cool.
And like mysteries like that that nobody knows.
Even like
Jack the Ripper.
Last year going to Stonehenge, I'd love to have seen actually how they built that.
Yeah.
Because like I was one that just thought it was how we were told it was. They had some ropes and some pulleys and they just hoisted these fucking stones up. But after going to the complex, I don't believe that's how it was done anymore. I kind of think what they did is they built a mound, dug holes, and just drug the rocks into the holes, and then kind of start digging the dirt out around them.
Build them up. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It didn't make sense to me when I was there. You see it on TV and shit like that, and you're like, okay, yeah, it's big, but holy fuck, is that thing big? Like ridiculously fucking big.
Can I ask you? This is going to be a little kind of new age hippie. Did you feel anything there?
Not really.
Okay.
No, I can't say anything like that. I mean, it was pretty cool. They were showing us like what I'm assuming are like burial mounds all around it. There's these huge just humps of like dirt essentially all over the place. Mm-hmm. And I guess they're like where the Druids buried themselves and shit like that. But yeah, no, nothing weird, nothing out of the ordinary. It's just, I was just more in awe.
Just the awe of seeing
exactly.
It,
I will say this though, I was very pissed off that I wasn't allowed to go into the structure itself.
Oh, you're not allowed?
No, because dumbasses were chipping off rocks and carving their fucking names into them and shit like that.
And people of the world, stop being assholes.
Oh my God.
Like when you go to Peggy's Cove down in Nova Scotia, don't go onto the Black Rocks and get swept out to sea. When you go to the Egyptian pyramids, don't touch the walls.
Yeah.
When you go to the Colosseum, don't try to take a little fucking piece of it home. Stop it. Stop it.
Like when we were in Iceland, we were on the black sand beach in Vik to go see what this rock formation they called the Four Trolls. But on the other side, so we were on the east side of it. On the west side there is another big, huge kind of like tourist spot. Mm-hmm. And the locals have this thing there that they call Chinese takeout. Because about 20 Chinese tourists get swept out to sea and die there every year because they're too fucking stupid to understand that the ocean is A, strong and very fucking cold. But they got to get so close to these fucking rocks for their Instagram pictures that they end up swept out to fucking sea and dying.
No picture's worth this, okay? It's the same like when we went to Peggy's Cove. They have signs, don't go onto the Black Rocks. You see it. Just before we went there, someone was swept out to sea. Stop doing it. And I still saw people down on the Black Rocks. It's like, are you crazy? Why are you doing this?
But at the same point in time, it's almost like, well, I hope you're ready for your fucking Darwin Award.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, you don't feel bad. Like the girl that got killed by the buffalo.
Yeah.
She was in Yosemite or someplace, and she got killed by the buffalo. Yep. That's a wild animal. Yeah, they don't eat people, but they'll still kill you if they get scared.
Oh, they're aggressive animals. Yeah. Oh, people are dumb. People are so fucking stupid. Yeah.
Just think twice before you I can remember, I don't know if you remember this, because you would have been maybe 10 or so.
Yeah.
Or maybe not even. The people that were at African Lion Safari. That's a park here in Ontario where you drive through and there's animals, right? You're supposed to keep your windows up, not interact. The people literally opened their window and either a cheetah or a leopard, something like that, killed them both in their car.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Like, they're fucking predators. What do you think they're going to do? They're hardwired to put their teeth into meat. You are fucking meat. Like, these animals don't have your sense of fucking humanity, you dumbasses.
Exactly. And they don't care. It's not an evil thing. It's nothing. No. It's just that's their instinct, is to kill something that is smaller and,
Yeah. I don't know. Iceland was probably the worst place I've ever been to in regards to idiot fucking tourists.
So people who don't know how to...
They're just disrespectful. They're ignorant. They don't understand how hard like vegetation how hard it is for the vegetation to grow. So they're out there trampling on the fucking grass and the moss and stuff. But it just, you know, standing right beside Gullfoss, which is their version of Niagara Falls, fucking crazy waterfall. The amount of water coming over this thing was nuts. And they're standing there doing all these dumb fucking yoga poses trying to get their Instagram photos.
Oh my God.
And like I'm sitting there poking Liz going, I hope this guy falls. I hope this guy falls.
Oh, see, I wouldn't be able to look. I'd be yelling, "You idiot, get the fuck off of there."
Oh, I was yelling at him. I was absolutely yelling. He was a Russian guy, so I kept calling him Boris. I kept saying, "Jump, Boris. Just fucking do us a favor, Boris." Fuck that, you fucking idiot.
One less idiot. That's true. Please don't multiply.
No. And that would have been a fucking surefire way to ensure that asshole never fucking multiplied. I just can't stand it. Like, people, you know, I keep coming back to this entitlement shit, but they fucking ruin everything with their stupid fucking entitlement.
Yeah, it's true.
And it's true. I don't know. It's just, but kind of going back to the whole fucking, like, going back, I wonder if you would see that back then.
That would be interesting. Even to watch the cave people kind of interact and see what they were doing. And
like when Babylon fell, would you see Roman tourists go there and just kind of disrespect the shit out of it?
Wonder.
I'm intrigued to know if it's part of the human condition or not.
The human psyche.
Right? Maybe. Like, is it just in us to be fucking arrogant, entitled fucking asshats?
Well, I mean, like, let's think about the Crusades in that matter, right? When the Crusades happened, I'm sure they weren't down in the Muslim countries being nice. Right?
Yeah, no, probably not. But that's a little different though, because they were murdering each other, right? So like, I can understand disrespecting them at that point in time, but we're not there anymore. So
no,
I don't know. It's just weird to me.
No, but when you go to someone's country or someone's community, and you're touring something that you're going because you think it's gonna be beautiful or amazing, don't disrespect it by destroying it.
Yeah.
Or don't be an idiot to get a selfie. You know, like these people.
Watching what was that movie? In the Heart of the Sea. That the true story of Moby Dick or whatever the fuck it was pegged as with Hemsworth in it. That's another time that I would love to have seen that pre-Civil War USA.
Okay.
Not just the USA, but the world at that moment in time. Because I mean, we're just getting into the Industrial Revolution. Like it would just been really, really cool. Because for me personally, I believe that's where, as a species, like we really start to just amp everything up. We kind of figured out engineering. You know, I don't want to say we mastered physics, because obviously physics is an ever-changing field. But that one would be pretty cool. I mean, you couldn't fucking pay me enough to get me on one of those goddamn whaling boats, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, God, no. Even any of the boats crossing the ocean and stuff would be so scary.
Like, it's my one fear. I'm what's known as thalassophobic. I am terrified of open water. And that fishing trip I went on in the Dominican a couple of years ago kind of fucking solidified that one for me. When those fucking
Tell the story.
Well, again, I'm scared of the ocean. So, to kind of conquer my fear, we go out on this deep-sea fishing trip. Everything's going good. We're about an hour into it. We catch some fish. Oh, man. So probably 10, 15 minutes after I catch my fish, which, by the way, is an absolute fucking trophy, and I want the bitch hung up on my wall, but whatever. The fucking whales come. Humpback whales breaching 10 foot, 20 foot off the side of the fucking boat. I am shitting myself. Like, literally fucking, like, I'm next to tears. So I go down underneath the boat, like, down into, like, the hull or whatever the fuck you call it. Just to kind of, you know, not look. I didn't want to freak myself out anymore. So my asshole fucking friends are like, no, man, come on, they're gone. So I walk back up on the deck, and I don't see any more whales breach. So I look over the side of the boat, and I'm like, holy shit, we just drove over a sandbar. And then the sandbar fucking turned over, and it's a goddamn whale, like 3 foot under the boat. Like, I was not happy about it. I was not happy about it at all.
You know, that's my dream, is to see a humpback whale in the wild, and you traumatized from it.
I did it for $90 when people were down there paying thousands.
Like that. That's what I'm saying. When we went down east, we did a little. It looks like a pirate ship, right? And they take you out. So we were on the Bay of Fundy, and we went, you know, a little bit like that. We didn't go into the full-on ocean, and I could see land. I've never been in full-on open water where there's no land. That's probably a little bit scarier, but
I couldn't do it.
Oh, I would love to see a humpback whale.
I mean, okay, yeah, they're cool, beautiful, majestic creatures, blah, 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 blah. But when you're in a fucking boat that thing's twice the size of, no, fuck you, whale.
Was that around the time when the whale had breached?
It was a week after that fucking lady died. Yeah, so, like, I was not very happy about it.
You're scared, yeah.
I was not happy about it at all.
Well, I mean, that's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, possibly, and...
Yeah, oh, hell's yeah. It's definitely once in a lifetime, because I highly doubt I'll ever get my ass out on that fucking ocean again.
So when the whale rolled over, did you, like, see its eye and everything?
I seen the whole fucking thing. I seen the whole goddamn whale.
Wow.
His fucking fin came out like a... Not dorsal fin, that's the one on the back. I guess they're flippers.
Yeah.
Yeah, flipper came right up over, probably about 10 foot away from the boat. I ran right back under deck. I was like, no, I ain't fucking having this shit, you bunch of assholes. I mean, yeah, It was cool. Like, it was cool, but fuck the whales.
I love the whales.
I know you do, but fuck them. Fuck them to death. I mean, at least they were humpbacks, and I didn't really have to worry about being eaten by the motherfuckers.
Yeah. But
if they're orcas, I would have been throwing shit at them. Fuck that nonsense.
But orcas have not really attacked people.
I mean, has anyone lived to tell the fucking story?
So that's all the disappeared ocean people have been eaten by orcas. Okay.
Hey, they eat great white sharks. They eat great white sharks. You know, they could fucking definitely do a number to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely once in a lifetime. You know, sitting here and I'm saying I'll never do it again. I'd fucking go fishing in the ocean in a heartbeat. Yeah. It was so much fun.
When I go down east next week, I'm hoping that there's a place called Meat Cove in Cape Breton Island. There's a whale watching place there. I'm hoping I get to go there and do that.
Right on.
Right off the coast of the ocean there. I'll be right in the Atlantic. So.
Why are you guys talking about me?
Oh my God, we're talking about whales, and here comes one. Welcome. Good morning. Someone finally woke up.
No, I've been released from the wild.
Okay.
I'm finally here. I'm finally back. Free Willy's finally back. I apologize.
Better late than never.
Better late than never. Yes, you're right.
Okay. Well, Ryan, have you ever seen a whale in the wild or any like kind of creatures like that?
When I was young, I was tricked into thinking there was a whale in a river. They just wanted to go fishing, and I hate fishing. So
it can happen.
I was tricked.
You know what? I like the putting the pole in the water and reeling it in. I don't like baiting the hook because I don't like to kill creatures, and I don't like keeping the fish. I like to throw the fish back in because it makes me sad. Because I don't eat fish either, so I don't think you should kill it if you're not going to eat it. But I mean, if you're going to eat it, that's fine. I don't like that. But it's fun to that kind of whole.
Well, my parents owned
and stuff.
A meat market, right? When we were younger, we owned a meat market, and we had a slaughterhouse. I've been to the slaughterhouse once. I think I was 7. Yeah, I think it was about 7 or 8. Holy crap, that thing is scary. Like you see them slit. Let me not get graphic, but it was very graphic.
Animals have to die if you're going to eat them, and there's only one way they can go, and you have to bleed them out. Sadly, so
pigs.
Okay, so we just talked about quickly. Let's see if Ryan has an opinion. Just before you joined, we were talking about what decade or time you would like to kind of experience.
Any decade or time, right?
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello. We're waiting.
Any decade or time, right? Probably. I'd probably relive the 90s again for me.
Now, would you want to be your age now in the 90s? Because that's what I would love to experience in the 80s as an adult.
Oh, be your age.
Yeah.
Probably the 90s. I think the 90s was just kind of when everything was coming into what is like what we're familiar with now with technology.
The
tech revolution.
And I would invest in everything.
Wouldn't you just go back and get into Microsoft, Apple, Amazon?
See, but for that you'd have to go back to the 80s though, especially with Microsoft. You'd have to get there.
True.
But Amazon and eBay, if you would invest in that, like 90.
Find Elon Musk and you know.
Yeah, exactly.
But definitely the 90s. I think the music in the 90s was fabulous. I think that the 90s was just a little bit more simple. yeah, the 90s. I wouldn't want to go back to something like the 50s, especially for someone like me who's gay. You know, that's just asking to be killed.
I have zero desire to go to the 50s, to be honest. I like I was saying to Arthur, the Summer of Love in the 60s, I think would be amazing to experience the whole hippies and
yeah. I mean,
I don't know if I could deal with them for a whole year, but just hang out for maybe a couple days.
I think I'd dig the 50s. I mean, go watch Elvis play like in his prime.
True.
That'd be pretty cool.
Good point.
You know.
Yeah.
Maybe go get to watch a nuclear bomb get tested. That'd be pretty fucking exciting.
No,
I'd love to see it. I would love to see that. Like, I really would. It's something I've been fascinated with for a long time. I constantly watch the old test videos and stuff like that. Like, I watched the Tsar Bomba, which is the largest nuclear bomb ever made by the Russians. I watch that video like once a week. That thing is fucking insane. Like, I got this weird thing where I like to feel small. It's why I'm like always thinking about space and shit like that, because I like the minuscule feeling it gives me, like that. As weird as it is, that kind of like nothingness, that you don't matter kind of feeling.
Yeah,
and exactly.
Dust, right?
And watching a bomb with a 24-mile fucking blast radius would really make me feel like that.
Well, I wouldn't want to be in Hiroshima in 1940. What is that? 8?
No, you definitely wouldn't want to be there. And
I wouldn't want to be there.
Yeah, 45.
Oh, 45.
Okay,
right.
So the other thing, that's okay. The other thing that we were kind of thinking about talking about, and I'm sure Ryan has some opinions on this. Movies we're looking forward to coming up. Right? So
within the year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you look, if you want, I'll send you a link, Ryan. I don't know if you can see it there. The first movie I'm really looking forward to is It.
Yeah, it should be
the remake
really good.
of the Stephen King. You know, it's a book, and it was a TV.
Yep, made for TV.
3 or 4 night movie.
Yeah.
With Harry Anderson. Just there's such weird casting in that movie.
Well, what's his face that played Pennywise? Damn, why can't I think of his name?
Tim Curry.
Tim Curry. Yes, thank you.
He was the best part of that movie.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, I love the guy playing Pennywise in the new one, Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah.
He's a great actor. I don't know any of the kids, obviously, except for the one that's from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it was filmed in your hometown.
Yeah, in Oshawa.
Yeah, and I lived there for a while too, and it's nice to put some money into the economy there. And I just hope it's scary. I don't know if they're going to stick to the main points of the book, or if they're going to change it up. But I mean, that was a scary book.
Yeah. I have a feeling they'll change a bit of it to kind of play to we're harder now. Do you know what I mean? Like, it takes a lot more to kind of scare us. So I think they're going to have to amp it up to give it that horror moniker. But hopefully they kind of stick to, what it was. Well,
at least the essence of it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the scary clown in the sewer was scary as crap with those teeth. Holy cow.
Kind of all of the movies I'm looking forward to are next year.
Oh, so you're not into it. I really want to see The Dark Tower, another Stephen King. Funny enough.
Oh, that I'd like to see because of
with our husband.
With our husband,
Idris Elba.
You know what? I really want to see him play a villain.
Mm.
I think Idris Elba would crush, and I don't mean like a bad guy. I mean like an actual fucking villain, like Lex Luthor style villain. Like,
okay.
I would
because he was a bad guy in that movie. I didn't watch it, where he was like the escaped convict or something.
Oh,
do you remember that movie? I didn't watch it. Yeah, with Taraji. Yeah, I didn't watch. Actually, I should watch that because Idris Elba is really hot. Yeah, but yeah, he's a good actor.
He's fucking amazing. I was fighting with my friends a little while ago, saying how I would love for him to play James Bond, and I really would. I think he would crush that fucking role. But of course, people with their traditionalist fucking nonsense. Oh well, James Bond's a white British guy. Like, no, he's not. He's not a real fucking person.
Exactly. And the gunslinger's traditionally a white guy, and we've got him playing the gunslinger. So fantastic, breaking the barriers.
And I mean, again, like, I'm not all for the whole like political correctness of movie making now. Like how people are pissed off at that Dunkirk movie because there's not enough people of color in the movie. Like, fuck off. It's a historical movie. There weren't black people on that beach during that time, so suck it the fuck up.
Yeah, because even though there were black troops, they weren't allowed into the fighting. They were sadly sanitation and
Well, and at that point, the war wasn't even really a war yet. So
yeah,
it was. It's just such it's a dumb fucking argument, and I'm so sick and tired of hearing it.
Yeah,
especially when it comes to historical movies. Like I heard some people beefing about the new Spider-Man, about how Mary Jane's now a black girl and his best friend's an Indian guy, and the fucking
who cares?
Right? Who cares? It's a fucking fictional story.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
I mean, it's different if you're making a movie about Stephen Hawking and then you get Idris Elba to play him.
Right. That's
I get
wrong.
that's silly, but I mean, any fictional movie. Be anything you want. Remember how mad people were about Rue in Hunger Games, even though the character was literally black in the book.
Right? Like it's just so dumb. Mad.
Yeah, people get upset and offended over everything unnecessarily. I like any horror movie, so I'm looking forward to Annabelle.
Yeah, it should be all right.
Yeah.
As long as
one movie. Go ahead.
As long as it's the same people that did The Conjuring.
Yeah, The Conjuring was good.
They were good. They really embodied that whole 1980s horror feel, where it was about being scary. It wasn't just about jump scares and stuff like that. It was, it wasn't torture porn. It's not the Saw movies. Yeah, it was a real, true to form horror movie.
Building the dread.
I feel like after Hostel and the first Saw movie, horror kind of moved to that torture porn realm where it's just all
I don't watch those movies. I have zero interest in watching Saw. The last one I saw was, I think, number 2, where the girl fell into the vat of needles.
The pit of needles? Oh, that was amazing, though.
That made me sick. I'm not into that. I don't care. I've never seen the Hostel movies. I've never seen Human Centipede. Zero interest.
Oh, God. I don't think I would see Human Centipede. I heard it's so disgusting.
I've watched all 3 of them, and they are fucking amazing. They are absolutely amazing. It's one of the most original horror movies I've seen in the longest time. Like, it was an original storyline. It was kind of...
Well, it definitely came out of... Nobody made a story like that before.
No. I mean, I don't know if you've ever heard of a Serbian film, but there's one you guys should not watch, but it's another one of those, like, really grotesque fucking original kind of horror movies. It's... it was messed up.
Yeah, I don't watch... What was that famous one from the 70s that everybody said the woman really got killed in? Do you remember? She was supposedly down in the Amazon, and they impaled her on a spike through her, you know what? And everybody for years said that was a real murder. But it was like I've never seen any evidence that it was, but I can't remember what it's called. It's like very famous.
There's a few random urban legends like that, like with obviously like Wizard of Oz. Apparently, you see the one dwarf hang himself in the background.
Yeah,
I've seen the evidence. I don't believe it personally.
Yeah, I don't see that it looks like a dwarf, so I don't know.
Yeah,
hopefully that's not true.
Oh, absolutely.
If it is. But
I mean, it would take one hell of a conspiracy to cover that shit up, though.
That's why I wonder sometimes about some of these conspiracies. But yeah, I didn't ever watch the first Blade Runner movie, even though that's from my generation. I'm kind of looking forward to the new one, and I'm gonna watch the original just before.
Yeah, it's all right.
That's with Mel Gibson, right?
No, Harrison Ford.
Yeah,
Harrison Ford, rather. Sorry.
Yeah. Looks interesting. I kind of like those sci-fi movies, so I have to go back. It seemed like I've never watched Logan's Run.
Oh, I
need to go watch
that fucking movie.
Yeah, everybody says it's amazing. I've just never seen it.
It's one of my favorite utopia / dystopian movie, or just stories, period. I really enjoyed it. I've heard they're making a remake of it, but I've been hearing that for a few years now. I don't know if it's actually going to happen, but that's absolutely one of my favorite all-time sci-fi movies.
Okay. So I'll have to watch that.
Valerian. That's what I want to see. I mean, it's out in the theaters now, but Valerian I want to see.
Yeah.
I'm really interested in seeing Valerian.
That looks horrible. I saw on the weekend the new Planet of the Apes movie.
Was that any good?
Scott and I. Well, we're fans of the previous two.
Yeah,
so yeah, I enjoyed it. It was the same sort of feel. And Andy Serkis is amazing as Caesar.
Oh, of course, that guy can't do no wrong.
I love him. He needs to get an Oscar nomination. Finally. Let's go. Give him one. I don't care if you don't see his whole body and face. He's acting.
No, that guy is amazing.
He's using his talents. Yeah.
I'm pumped for the next Thor movie, Thor Ragnarok. I think that's going to be amazing.
I haven't even seen the second one. The first one was okay. I'm not really into superhero movies.
Me neither. I'm not a comic book reader. I'm not, you know what I mean? I don't care about the lore, but let's face it, the acting's fucking great. They hired amazing actors for these roles, and the CGI in these movies is like, there's nothing that can compete
I
with them
didn't
right
hate the first one. I just didn't care enough to see the second one. Maybe I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I like the X-Men movies. I usually watch those, and I usually like the Spider-Man movies. So.
Oh,
I haven't seen the new one yet.
That was the other preview that came out of Comic-Con, Justice League. I'm not too, not too interested.
I'm not really into the DC comic people. Well, I always loved Wonder Woman because I grew up with Wonder Woman, Linda Carter. So she'll always have a place in my heart. I'll watch the movie when it comes online for free.
Well, for me, Batfleck is not good. Like, I do not like Batfleck at all. Like, he's...
Yeah, I didn't watch.
Affleck. I'm like, what is Batfleck?
Yeah, Batfleck. He'll always be known as Batfleck to me now.
I just don't... Here's my thing about DC. It's it's really dark. Like, I think they should just call it dark comics. It's super, super dark. And it's kind of... Although they came out... what do you call that? They came out before... Marvel, but I just think that DC is just a little too dark and kind of has no basis for me as to where X-Men really is interesting. You know what I mean? Or rather, Marvel's more interesting. I'm not interested. Besides Gal Gadot, I have no interest in DC.
No.
It's just boring.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy Jason Momoa is getting another kind of action role. Like, that guy is really good.
Interesting turn instead of just being this boring guy that swims around the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
He looks a little more edgy, interesting.
Because I like that guy.
Yeah.
And I can't say that I like him for that reason, but I definitely think he's an intense actor. That one scene in Game of Thrones where he's talking to Daenerys and he's going off about how he's going to conquer Westeros and shit like that for it. It got me pumped. Like, I jumped off the couch. I was like, fuck yeah, let's go to war. Like, he's good. Like, he's really fucking good.
He's also good in the sex scenes in Game of Thrones.
Again.
Well, I watched him in Stargate Atlantis, and he came in a couple seasons in.
He was so small on that show. Like, it's so funny.
You know what's funny is he was big compared to them, but he was definitely smaller than he is now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he still towered over everybody, but yeah, he was good on that. I like him. I think he's a good actor.
6'4", right? He's like 6'4".
I don't know. He's a big man.
Yeah, he's a big dude. I mean, there's a few
comedies. I'm glad he's getting success. You know, I like him. Did you ever watch his show, The Red Road, I think it was called?
No, I haven't. That was on Discovery, right?
Yeah, I watched it on Netflix.
Okay.
It's on Netflix. It was. Yeah, definitely very interesting and different than what I thought it was going to be.
Oh, there's a few comedies coming out this year too that should be all right, like that Bad Moms Christmas.
I didn't think I was gonna like Bad Moms, but I loved it. Hilarious. So I am looking forward to Bad Moms Christmas.
It was a great movie. I will say that. I thought that Mila Kunis and Christina Applegate were funny, but I don't know if I want to see another one.
Each other.
Yeah.
Anything with Catherine Hahn, I'm a fan of because that lady, she fucking cracks me up. Yeah.
And I'll give it to Kristen Bell and Mila. They went for it. They didn't hold back in that movie. So.
Yeah. No, what's the other one? That Daddy's Home too. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like Will Ferrell, but I again, he's another guy that just cracks me the fuck up.
I didn't see number one.
It was funny.
I didn't see number one.
I'm surprised considering Marky Mark was in it.
I love him.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
I love him.
And of course, Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Well, as we've stated previously, Arthur and I were like born and raised on Star Wars. So, you know, we get excited by these things.
Oh yeah. I mean, once tickets are up for sale, I'm getting my tickets.
Can I discuss the movies that I kind of want to see next year though? Is that okay?
Yeah,
go ahead. Sure.
I'm really excited to see, of course, X-Men, because I think next year is a release for X-Men, or either next year or 2019.
I think it is next year. Yeah, 18.
2019, rather. I'm sorry. That's not a movie.
According to this list, April 13th of 2018, X-Men: The New Mutants.
That I would want to see because I think they're going to do the Dark Phoenix saga. And then I want to see Crazy Rich Asians next year as well.
Oh, yeah. You've been talking about that. That sounds interesting.
That for sure I want to see. And then Deadpool next year.
Yeah, Deadpool. Yeah.
That I would really love to see.
I'm looking at this list. I see Insidious Chapter 4, which makes me excited.
Yeah, the Insidious movies were all right.
Oh, and another Cloverfield movie.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. That should be all right. I mean, hopefully
it's... Oh, God, 50 Shades Freed. Please free me from this movie and these books.
Oh, they're finally going to finish off the Maze Runners.
Oh, okay.
I kind of did get hooked on it, even though it is like one of those teen dramas. Like I did.
The books are fantastic. The movies do not compare to the books, but I'll still watch them because Dylan O'Brien and I've read them.
You know what though? I actually really expected for Dylan to get a lot of success for doing the Maze Runner, but
yeah. Well, they didn't have they didn't get like Hunger Games notoriety.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a movie coming out very shortly though.
The action movie, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the action movie.
Right on.
So, hoping good things for him. He's a great little actor, and he's.
I don't know if you guys know this. Have you ever heard of Slender Man?
Yes.
Yeah, they're doing an actual movie.
Oh, horror movie,
out
not
next
a
year. Yeah. Oh, that documentary was messed up.
Terrible.
Oh my god.
And I kind of did feel bad for the kid at the end, and I didn't want to.
Right? Like,
yeah.
I went in that thinking the one with the glasses she was at fault, but at the end of it, I was like, oh my god, free that girl. Like, she needs help. But
yeah.
I remember stumbling upon Marble Hornets. That was the guy that created the Slender Man legend, I guess, about 7, 8, 9 years ago, possibly even 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And it freaked me the fuck out the way this guy did it. Like, it was another one of those, like we were discussing before the show, Jacqueline, the Blair Witch for me.
Yeah.
Where he just made it look so real.
Yeah.
And not even within like the quality of the filming or anything like that, just the panic, it seems so real.
Yeah.
I'm stoked for that.
Those Blair Witch people really needed, I think, an Oscar nomination because that was some great acting back then. That was
we were saying this. It started a whole genre that never existed before.
Yeah, found footage.
Yeah.
And it's not even that. Like when you think about the marketing of the Blair Witch, it was terrifying.
People believed that really happened. And like, probably to this day some people still believe it really happened.
Yeah. Like they were having fake press conferences and shit. Like it was just brilliant. So fucking smart. And I can remember reading a few years ago that the producers actually told the 3 actors in the movie that you had to disappear essentially for the next year.
Yeah.
Until the movie's out and, award season starts coming around shit. Like, I didn't even know these people were fucking alive until the MTV Movie Awards when they went and accepted a fucking award. And I was like, oh, shit, it's fake. Fuck me, eh?
It's probably a lot of people that happened to.
Yeah.
Right?
I remember I was like, that came out in the 90s. It probably was like about, 9 years old or something when I saw that. I was freaked the fuck out. I was oh my God.
Do you remember our friend Danny Quanchi was terrified of that girl from the Paranormal Activity movies? I can't remember. Katie Featherstone. For the first 2 or 3 movies, he was genuinely afraid of her.
And that just
he was grown.
Oh, shit. They're doing another Purge movie.
Yes, I love the Purge.
Yeah, another one that really great storyline. It was something that's I can't say that hasn't been done, but it really hasn't been done before.
Yeah, you know what needs to end? Stop making them Robin Hood movies.
Yeah,
I seen that.
I see that on the list. Yeah, like they never turn out well except for Robin Hood the Disney movie with that sexy fox.
What do you mean? Robin Hood Men in Tights was amazing.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
But what's his face? That actor? I can't. Oh, what's his name?
Cary Elwes.
Oh my God, that guy.
Ellis? Ellis.
Ever since the fucking Princess Bride, as far as I'm concerned, that guy can't do no wrong.
Love him. Yeah, love him.
Ooh, The Predator.
Empire Records. You remember him in Empire Records? Did you ever see that?
I don't think
he plays like an aging rock star that's all bloated and and just still thinks he's the shit.
Fucking A.
Yeah. And he was in the first Saw movie.
Yeah. Wow, it looks like 2018 shaping up to be a really cool year for movies.
Yeah, looks like there's some interesting movies. Oh, look, Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's still.
Yeah, I'll watch it. Because of John Boyega.
He's in it? Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to be playing Idris Elba's son.
Oh, Idris Elba's going to be in that movie?
No, he died. Did you not watch the first one?
No, I told you I didn't watch that. He's in that?
Yeah, he's in it.
Oh, now I gotta watch the movie because Idris Elba's in it.
Again, the acting is shit. Charlie Hunnam is trash. People gotta stop fucking casting him in American roles. Let him be British. I don't know if you ever watched Green Street Hooligans.
No.
It was, I believe, his first movie. It's got him and Elijah Wood. Elijah Wood's an American, goes to England, gets caught up with these fucking soccer hooligans, whatever. Charlie Hunnam was fucking amazing in that because he was British. His American accent pisses me off beyond fucking words. He's a garbage fucking actor as far as I'm concerned, but Pacific Rim was great just for the CGI and the action. I don't know, I've kind of given up on that shit with movies, caring about the plot and stuff like that.
Some movies you gotta just forget it. Like if you want to see Transformers, you know you're not going to watch a plot.
Exactly.
Right?
I just want good CGI, good action, and maybe like a good-looking chick for me. Maybe good-looking dude for the rest of them. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I get it. Certain movies I watch only
because
somebody's in it, and I know it's going to be terrible, but you know.
Looks like there's 2 X-Men coming out next year.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, November 2018, X-Men Dark Phoenix. And then there was...
Oh, that's the one Ryan wants to see in November.
There's one earlier, April 13th, X-Men The New Mutants.
Oh, so maybe The New Mutants is like the younger group, and then Dark Phoenix is the continuation of...
Well, I thought... I don't think the Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart X-Men's ever happening again after that Logan movie.
Yeah.
I think they're done with that. So this has to be McAvoy. That era X-Men, both movies, but that should be cool. 2 in 1 year.
What the heck? How the Grinch Stole Christmas? Huh. Oh, they've made a 3D version of my favorite Christmas thing. Fuck off.
Is it? They didn't just remake the Jim Carrey one, did they?
No.
No, it's the classic animated.
Oh, but it's in 3D.
3D down. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Oh, Bad Boys for Life is coming out November 9th.
Thank fucking God.
We were talking about that on Monday.
Oh my God, Martin and Will are the tits together.
They're good together.
Oh, they're so good.
Oh, and A Star is Born is coming out, Ryan, in September.
Yes, with Gaga.
Of 2018. Gaga.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
See, and I'm not happy about this because they fired Sacha Baron Cohen, but I still want to watch this, the Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, who is playing him now?
Rami Malek, or Malek.
Okay, from Mr. Robot.
Yeah, exactly. He's been in a few things. The first thing I seen him on was this, what was it called? War at Home. It was some weird TV sitcom Liz got me watching, and he played like the gay neighbor.
I watched that. Yeah, the gay best friend.
Great fucking show. I love that kid in it, and I mean, I still think Sacha Baron Cohen would have made a way better Freddie Mercury.
I think he would have been perfect.
Yeah, same here. But
it looks like him. Looks like him.
Hey,
is it meant to be like a bio?
Pardon?
Yeah.
Yeah, a biopic movie. Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I'll give Rami a chance, but yeah, I think Sasha would have been like he looks like him, and he commits 100%.
Exactly. You know, like I understand people don't like the Borats and shit like that, but you got to give it to the guy.
Character. That's not the actor.
No, he right? Fucking when he's in character, that's him. You know what I mean? And he's
so and the balls he has when he's playing Borat or that I can't remember what the gay one's called.
Bruno.
And some of the things Bruno when he says to these straight redneck Americans and stuff.
Yeah, doesn't break character, doesn't smirk, doesn't you know what I mean? Like,
and he's still alive, you know?
Yeah, that's surprising. Yeah, 2018 actually looks like it's gonna shape up to be a fairly good year for movies.
So, talking about movies, what's the scariest movie, like ghost movie, that you've ever seen?
Ghosts, like,
yeah, like something ghost-wise, like paranormal.
I'd have to say the first Paranormal Activity.
That was good. I know a lot of people don't like that and said there wasn't much action, but I thought that was really good.
See, I find that with ghost movies, the not seeing it makes it that much more terrifying than, you know, here's this weird, like, specter fucking, you know what I mean? Like, you kind of ruin it with the cheesiness.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ryan.
For me, and this is probably going to be like a shitty choice, but The Others with Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, that was really good. That was a freaky movie.
Done. With a twist ending and everything. Yeah.
It scared the crap out of me for like days.
Oh, you're daft? I am your daughter. I mean, like just iconic scary movie. Yeah.
The only shitty thing about that movie was Nicole Kidman.
Yes, kind of.
Like
with her old nose, I think.
I mean, the only way to make it worse is if they cast Gwyneth Paltrow in it.
Oh God, I hate Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah, same here.
I'm trying to think of one. I remember back in the day, and I can't tell you what it's about, but I remember back when I was a kid watching this movie from the 80s it was either called Ghost or Ghost Story.
Okay.
That scared me. It was like all old men, and I think they drowned a woman way back when they were young men, and in a car, and then her ghost comes back to haunt them. I believe is the premise of the movie, and I remember being terrified of that. And then the other one that scared me. The Entity with Barbara Hershey. I know it's not really a ghost, but did you ever see that one?
I don't think so.
It's in the 80s, and this I don't know, the entity, this thing is haunting her, and like it's like a poltergeist, I guess, and it like rapes her, and they're showing like the rape scenes that when she's
I do remember that. That
scared the shit out of me. Like, please, ghost, don't rape me. You know, I was terrified.
I don't know, the original Ghost with Swayze was pretty fucking terrifying.
I love Ghost.
At least for my eyes.
Well, you probably had to see it like 6,000 times.
Oh my fuck.
Why would you have to have seen it that many times?
My mother used to put that on like every night, that and Dirty Dancing, and I'm sure Arthur's mother did the same thing.
No, not my mom, but my sisters definitely.
Oh, your sisters, okay.
They fucking love them some Dirty Dancing, that's for sure.
Yeah, my mom too, man. She loved that Dirty Dancing.
I can't blame him. Swayze was, really fucking cool, but
he was sexy. That's like the peak of his sexiness, right?
I was arguing with my friend about that the other day, saying, like, show me another ballerina that is like a fucking sold action hero.
No.
You know what I mean?
I mean, you can say Baryshnikov for coming into movies, but not action.
No.
Not action.
That the fucking Paranormal Activities, I think, are probably the best ghost movies.
I like them.
At least 1 and 2. They did get a little weird later on.
Yeah, tying them all together and stuff. Did you watch the Latino one that was based on like kind of like a spin-off but not directly with them?
Was that the Witch's Coven or whatever the fuck it was?
No. Do you remember which one I'm talking about, Ryan? Let me look it up quickly while you guys talk about something. Talk about how good those Paranormal Activities are.
Oh, they're fucking amazing. Like honestly, I did not see anything wrong with them at all.
Oh, I got to see, speaking of scary stuff, I got to see Train to Busan.
Yeah, that was good. What did you think?
It was really, I thought it was amazing, and that ending, I mean, I hate that it's like, super lesbian ending, but I quite liked it. I quite liked it.
Oh, we need more with that kind of marketing, like the Blair Witch
or
even
marked
Hostel.
Ones.
Yeah, I watched that. That was okay.
I liked it. It wasn't the greatest, but it was, it was decent, I thought. I'll watch pretty much any ghost movie.
Yeah, same here.
Or like kind of paranormal. I'm obsessed with the paranormal.
Yep.
I always have been. I used to get books out of the library that told the ghost stories of Canada. I go onto website forums and read people's ghost stories. I go onto Reddit and read the paranormal threads. Love that stuff to death.
Really?
Yeah, I watch like ghost videos.
Yeah, I still do it.
Yeah, I just was the day before yesterday, I was watching ghost videos. Mm-hmm. My favorite recent video, and I haven't seen it deep. Okay, so this is the thing. When I watch a ghost video, I can't tell all the time if they're fake. I just go in assuming everyone is fake.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can tell, like, oh, that chair is not moving, like, you can tell it's being pulled by a string or a rope or something. Some things I don't know how to debunk, but I'm still assuming they're fake. But the one that I saw recently I really liked was actually in the Philippines. The lady sitting in the cafeteria. Did you see that one?
I can't say I have.
So she's sitting in like a cafeteria or like a lunchroom sort of place, and she's by herself. And she's playing on her phone or something. And you see a chair in the background move. And then she gets pulled out of her chair, and she gets up, and all the furniture starts moving around all at the same time, and she jumps back, and she's falling on the ground in fear. Now, I mean, that could be a scene from a movie in the Philippines. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was good. I liked that. That one was really kind of scary.
Well, even that, though, when I'm personally watching these paranormal videos or whatever, it's not like I'm there looking for the truth. I'm just there to get that little adrenaline rush from
that little thrill.
Right? Yeah. That's all it is. Again, I'd like to say that I'm a skeptic, but at the same point in time, there's obviously things going on that we don't fucking understand. Mm-hmm. This could very well be one of them.
Yeah.
One of the things I've always found kind of funny, though, is like when people kind of try to bring proof of like, no, this is a haunting. Why are all the ghosts from like the 1800s, early 1900s? Like, you're telling me that there's not some fucking dude that died in like 1985 fucking blasting boombox around? So that's where a lot of my skepticism comes in.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's fun for the scare.
I had this point I don't know if it was last month or the month before. Why are ghosts always on the staircase?
Yeah.
If I'm a ghost, I'm not climbing stairs anymore. I'm going to float my ass up and down from level to level, okay? Yeah. Not climbing one more fucking stair if I'm a ghost.
Let me tell you something that you mentioned that's actually hilarious, because when I was a kid, I think I had told you this story a long time ago, Jacqueline. I used to be afraid of the staircase. We had a metal spiral staircase that led to my bedroom in the attic, right?
Yeah.
And it was literally right next to my mom and my dad's bedroom, the master bedroom. And I used to be so afraid of it because I thought there were like ghosts or whatever there. And in my life, I've always been afraid of going upstairs or going downstairs if it's dark, because I think ghosts like to hang out by the staircase because they like to grab your feet or whatever.
Every time you watch a movie or somebody's doing a picture, there's always a ghost on a staircase. Or you watch this video where the guy's like, "Oh, in this house, the ghost is known to push people on the stairs." Yeah. Like, get off the stairs, man.
Yeah, like just install an elevator and get fucking up, get it over with. Jesus. Like I've been my nan's house in Nova Scotia. I know a few of our family members have died there. Mm-hmm. And yeah, like my entire life, I've been terrified of that fucking basement. I don't know why. Really? Like it makes me feel weird anytime I go down there. Now it could just because it's old and fucking moldy, and you know my body's just kind of reacting to that. But I've had like one or two kind of weird experiences in that house. Mm-hmm. It's fucked up. But at the same point in time, like I'm never going to be one to say like unequivocally that no, that's paranormal.
Yeah, you don't know. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that could be like electrical waves making it weird in there too.
Exactly.
You know, I will say this: my mother-in-law's old house, she sold it last summer. Just a tiny little normal bungalow. We lived there for about a year and a half. We lived in the basement, and I will tell you, when I lived in that house, and I've never felt this anywhere else, like the intensity, I literally always felt like I was being watched. Always. And I'd be home alone, like, you know, my mother-in-law and stepfather-in-law were out, my kids weren't there, or you know, always felt like I was being watched. And I remember they went away for 2 weeks and Scott was working the night shift, and so it was just me and the kids there. Oh no, they took Logan, so it was just me and Marley, so she's even littler. And I just was like stay up all night waiting for Scott to come home because I'd be so paranoid. I really felt like people were watching me in that house.
But again, though, like, is it your mind playing tricks on you, or, you know? Like,
I don't know why that house. Like, I don't feel like it here.
Yeah.
Right. I've never felt like that growing up. Although I've said this many times. My townhouse in Oshawa when we lived there, 100%. Scott and I 100% believe it was haunted.
Well,
never saw ghosts. I used to see flickers.
You could
little black.
You could have told me that before you had me come over and babysit your kids and shit by myself.
Oh, couple. They weren't mean. They weren't what's the word? Malevolent? Is that the word?
Yeah.
They were. I mean, one time I was sitting. It was dark. The kids were upstairs sleeping. Scott was upstairs sleeping, and I was on the computer. I was just getting ready to say. I was, you know, having like a little MSN chat. Remember MSN?
Oh yeah.
I was saying goodbye to my friends, and I heard suddenly like a bang, like as if somebody had jumped on the ground, literally right behind my chair. So it was like a right behind me.
Actually,
in the morning.
You guys just reminded me of something that happened to me just 2 days ago. And this is how freaky this is, right? And I feel like this happens when you're absent-minded. And this is super scary. So I'm doing the dishes. The what do you call that, Jacqueline? The little thing that you use to clean the baby's bottles. That
the little whisk scrubby thing?
Yeah. So that long
a brush. Yeah, a brush.
Was super far away from me. It was like you know, like the sink, and then there's like a little bit of space on the sink, right?
Yeah.
It was there, but it was definitely far away from me. Far away enough that it can't fall to the edge of the sink because, well, it's far and you can't touch it. So anyway,
and it doesn't just roll easily.
Yeah. And I'm doing the dishes and you know, whatever. And it was definitely the weekend, and my sister, my mom, they were just all kind of like in the living room watching. And then all of a sudden, I swear to God, the reason why I got so freaked out was right on my right, I saw somebody run up, grab it, and then it fell onto the ground.
Oh my God, I just got chills up my back. Right?
I looked and I was like, Ava. And I go into the living room, and she's been sitting there the whole time. And I swear to God, I said to my mom, "Did you just come here?" She was like, "What are you talking about? I've been in, I've been in the living room." I'm like, someone just came up here and grabbed the thing and it fell. And I was like, what are you talking about? That was all the way over there. How the fuck did it fall over there?
Oh my gosh.
It was all the way over there. That's impossible. And I felt someone literally like by my right side and grabbed it and like made it fall. It was the freakiest thing. I thank God you said that story about your haunted house, because that reminded me of what happened. And I remember feeling like, this was not at nighttime, by the way. This was in broad fucking daylight. This was like at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
It's more scary, obviously.
Yeah.
Do you ever find
freaky.
Random dimes around your house?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I saw a psychic years ago, and I mean, I'm not the hugest psychic believer, but I will say she didn't know me. She didn't know my mother. We showed up with a couple of friends at this house. She knew some things about me, which was a little creepy, and she told me, when you find dimes, that's your deceased family members. And one time I opened the microwave. Now, if you come into my house, the microwave is attached to the bottom of the cabinet. So there's no shelf for me to rest anything on. It's literally attached to the cabinet. I opened the microwave and a dime fell. I opened the fridge one day and there was a dime in there. Like weird places. Like I could see a dime beside my desk because I keep my change on my desk and shit gets knocked on the floor. By Scott's table when he goes to bed, he keeps change there, shit gets knocked on the floor. That's not weird. In the laundry, it's in people's pockets. But coming out of the microwave, that's fucking weird as shit.
Yeah, that is really weird. Because you'd hope that people in your house understand not to put metal in the fucking microwave.
Yeah.
Exactly. My kids barely get the food in the microwave. They're not putting change in there too.
Weirdest thing that's happened to me. It was me and my buddy Mike. We were up chilling at his house just north of where I'm at now. Middle of the day, we're sober. We hadn't smoked any weed, nothing like that, so I can't pin it on that shit. But we're sitting there watching the TV. Out of the corner of my eye, I see a guy wearing a Canadian tuxedo in his fucking kitchen. I fucking snap my head over and
Canadian tuxedo is lumberjack jacket.
No, Canadian tuxedo is all denim. Denim.
Denim. Okay.
Yeah, jeans on, a fucking denim shirt, and a fucking jean jacket. And my head snaps over, and he starts fucking pissing himself laughing at me. He goes, "You just seen him, didn't you?" I was like,
"Oh my God, it chills on my whole body."
I was like, "Fuck off, bro. Don't fuck with me like that." And he's like, "No, man." He's like, "That guy fucking hangs out in my kitchen all the time."
Oh my God.
Yeah.
No.
So some random dude. And he reminded me of like one of the guys my grandfather used to hang out with, like a Dougie Roberts kind of dude. You know what I mean? That blonde, curly haired, fucking looks like a goddamn alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
It was fucking. Guy, that was like the one time where I was like really fucking freaked out.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it was messed up.
Logan used to say when we lived in that townhouse, he's like, "Mom, the ladies always argue." Now, on the one side of our townhouse, on the side opposite of his bedroom, was an Indian family, so a husband, a wife, and 2 sons. On the other side, next to his bedroom, was a man who lived alone. And he would always say, "Mom, they're always arguing, and I see them." Right? I'm like, "What do you mean you see them?" He's like, and I just, I thought it was his imagination. This is before I noticed any haunting stuff in the house. And he's like, one is mean, and the other one is like, just yells back at her. And he always said that there was ghosts in his bedroom, and we're like, "Whatever, Logan." And then the weird things started to happen. I'd see flickers out the corner of my eye. One time Scott had to go to work at like 11 o'clock in the morning. So I got up and I was laying in bed, talked to him the whole time he was getting dressed. So I was awake. I was not asleep. And I laid there. I heard him shut the door and leave. And like within 30 seconds, I heard the door open again. Feet run up the stairs and go towards the bathroom, down the hall to the bathroom. And I'm like, "Oh, he must have forgot something." I got up, I opened the door, I walked down to the bathroom. I'm like, "Did you forget something?" And I got there. There was nobody there.
Oh my God. Oh my God, you just scared the living fucking daylights out of it.
Yeah. But I mean, never again, other than feeling like I was watched at that house. I mean, in my house here,
nothing.
I feel fine. I'm not afraid. I don't feel like people are watching me. I know there's no ghosts here.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm a crazy person just imagining these things constantly. I've never had that when we lived in Mornell Court, when I lived in Gordon Ridge, nothing like that ever happened to me. So it's only at these 2 places these weird feelings happen.
My buddy.
When I go to down east, I kind of want to go to your Nan's basement.
Yeah, that place always fucking weirds me out. But my buddy, his daughter, it stopped probably about a year or so ago now. But she was always going off about this thing she called children. And how children would, want to play with her, and children was telling her secrets. And children was this and children was that. And it always fucking freaked me out because she called the thing children. And then when we'd ask, like, well, what's children look like? She's like, it's like a man. Like, what the fuck you calling it children for then?
Jesus Christ! Yeah, my stomach is curdling.
It was messed up. Like, it was weird. So for years there, we were trying to like kind of get information out of her about children.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like the one day me and him were talking about it, and he's like, apparently children told her that she's not allowed to talk about him. I was like, all right, boys, I think it's time you get the fuck out that house.
Bless the house, man. Yeah. Something. Jeez.
But yet, her little brother, 2 years younger than her, nothing, never seen a damn thing. He even thought like she was kind of fucking crazy for it. Like, man, I don't know.
It makes you wonder, like, now does she have the greatest imagination ever, or is there something more?
I don't know. Like, from what I know of this little girl, she is like probably the most honest fucking person I've met in a long time. Like, she's just a little fucking sweetheart that I wouldn't peg as a liar.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
That's kind of like why I always believed Logan, because he didn't really make up stories like that. The only thing he did that was weird was he would say that he insisted he was Spanish. So he's like, I don't speak English, I speak Spanish. And I always thought that was because he watched Dora the Explorer and he thought But I mean, like, he never really made up stories. He didn't say, you know, so that was like the weirdest thing. And it always freaked me out when he'd be like, they were arguing and I didn't get to sleep much. And
it's weird though. Like, because I've heard even that Lorraine Warren, who again, like I am kind of, I guess, inclined to believe just due to, you know, the longevity of what she's been doing. But, you know, I've even heard her say that children are the most susceptible to shit like that.
Yeah.
Now, again, I mean, I'm not one to say that it's real. I can't. I have no fucking proof. And like I was saying, you know, in an earlier show.
You saw something, though.
Oh, yeah. I did. But I'm not going to say that it was something paranormal because I don't fucking know. But
if you saw the same thing somebody else had seen.
Yeah, it definitely adds a hell of a lot more validity to it. That's for sure.
If you just said, I saw a guy in a denim outfit and your buddy's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. No, it was weird. Like, that was the one and only time where I was like, holy fuck. Like, that's freaky as shit. Like, my anxiety started to rush. Like, it was nuts. It was, I don't know. It was a fun
just saw like normal guy. It wasn't like some, like that creepy nun lady from the, you know.
I want that painting.
Jacqueline, that's creepy.
I want that painting so bad. Like, and that's kind of the thing with me. Like, I've always had this fascination with horror and the macabre and shit like that. And I love that kind of stuff. So I always kind of wonder, is it just me playing kind of tricks on myself?
Go ahead, Ryan. Were you going to say something?
Oh, I was going to say, I don't quite think you can play that much of a trick on yourself, especially like for me, like with that whole thing that just happened this weekend.
Yeah.
I remember just brushing aside as, you know, right, you're imagining that it fell when it's literally on the ground.
That's how we rationalize it.
Exactly.
Ourselves, right?
But it was, I swear to you, and here's why it felt like, I'm going to say it felt like, because again, like Arthur had said, there's no proof. I saw hair, and I ain't no hair on my head. So there was hair, black raven hair, short little girl. It was definitely a little girl because she had very long hair, or a little boy, whatever, a transgendered boy, whatever, special snowflake. He went and ran to my side and grabbed it. I freaked out because I thought it was my niece because I was washing a knife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as long as it didn't tell you you have 5 days, I think you're okay.
Oh,
that's okay. God. I'd rather they tell me that there's 5 days than fucking scare the shit out of me for the rest of my life. You know what I mean?
Have you guys ever done like seances or Ouija boards?
No.
I have done a seance. Very, very, very.
I've done both.
I won't. I refuse to do it.
You think, you know, I did the Ouija board. I believe it was my friend Laura moving it around the whole time. Seance, nothing really ever happened.
I just don't want to take the chance that, like, if this shit is real, I'm not trying to get myself fucking haunted.
Because I'm smarter now, but back when you did, right?
No, I'm not about that shit. I'm not about that at all. Like, again, I know for a fact stuff happens that we can't explain. There's no arguing that. I'm not going to say what it is because obviously, again, without evidence, I don't want to make such a broad sweeping fucking statement. But at the same point in time, if there's a slight fucking chance that I'm summoning some fucking like devil fuck, no, it ain't happening. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, don't fuck with the paranormal.
Right? Like, I got enough bullshit to worry about than fucking being fucking haunted.
I know.
Yeah. The original Witchboard movies from the 80s with Tawny Kitaen.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever see that one? That was so freaky. She gets like possessed by like a man spirit. She starts dressing like a man and stuff.
Oh, excuse me. But there has to be some type of validity to it, though, because it's not like this is like a 20th century invention.
Yeah,
exactly.
We've been telling ghost stories for forever, you know, and
every culture.
Exactly. And I've heard a lot of people just play it off to the they don't know what anything is, so they were just kind of trying to explain it, which is a fair assumption.
Yeah.
But at the same point in time, like, at what point do we stop writing it off?
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Yeah, I tend to be a skeptic. Like, I mean, if somebody came to me with a ghost story,
mm-hmm.
right? If I didn't know them well and they told me some crazy story, I'd be like, okay. But listening to the 2 stories you guys told, those seem believable to me, that they're possible. I've said many times I'm an atheist, but I'm not the kind of atheist believe that there's nothing. No. I think that there's no God, but I do kind of believe in the spirits, a soul, something's in the body. Energy never goes away. It becomes something else.
Well, and that's the basis of it, right? You cannot destroy or create energy. It just turns into something else. Yeah. Now, with my fundamental believing of what life is, meaning brain waves, knowing that the brain waves are just energy, they're just electrical synapses that happen in the brain, there's nothing that has ever really convinced me that goes away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's a chance that, something like that, there could be residual energy because, if it's not getting used for something else, it's still there. It still exists.
Yeah.
Who's to say that that's not the case?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, like, when it gets into the realm of, like, you watch like Ghost Hunter shit and they're talking about intelligent hauntings where this entity actually understands what it is it's doing, that's where I start going, because I don't know. I don't have the proof. I don't have that type of experience.
That, right?
Exactly, right?
But I was visited by my father after he died.
See, even that, like, when my sister gave birth to her first daughter and she described exactly what he was buried in.
Yeah.
That kind of freaked me out because
we didn't take a picture. She never saw a picture of him dead.
No,
we took no coffin photos.
She would barely remember that man. Barely remember him.
3 when you guys moved. No, 2 when you guys moved away.
Exactly. Like, I spent a lot of my life with him and I barely remember him. You know what I mean? So for her to describe him the way that he did, I mean, again, I don't want to say like it's unequivocal proof, but it was very convincing at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
But again, though, it's how do you talk about this shit without sounding batshit crazy? It's kind of the same point I made about the aliens.
I feel like people are more open to ghosts, like to talk about ghosts than they are aliens or Bigfoot or Loch Ness Monster or, Ogopogo, whatever the hell that creature is.
Oh, yeah, the Ogopogo. Yeah, it's
that's like a Loch Ness Monster in British Columbia.
Yeah, it's Canada's Loch Ness Monster.
I like it.
Yeah, well, because I think that's the name of the lake, Ogopogo Lake or some bullshit.
It's the native name of the lake.
Yeah. But yeah, again, though, like we're just so quick to write this shit off as like nonsense, but I mean.
Yeah.
But I agree with both of you when you say that there has to be some sort of truth, because to me, it's when my grandmother had passed away, again, I was 7 years old. Kids have very crazy, wild imaginations. Yep. I'll never forget, and now, I'm not trying to be with any shape or form saying that this had anything to do with religion. I don't think so either. But it was the last day of her. In the Philippines, it's traditional that you do a wake for 9 days, right? Okay. I guess it's like, I don't know if it's necessarily
kind of like sitting Shiva, like the Jewish do for 7 days. You should Shiva.
Yeah. So it's definitely 9, right? Definitely 9 days, and then after that, on the 9th day, you're supposed to do the prayer, and then you bury them the same day. And blah, 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 and there's other stuff. But anyway, on that last day, so there were a lot of flowers. There's definitely the day where a lot of people were there, right? So the forecast, I'll never forget this because everybody was talking about this. The forecast read sunny, clear skies. The Philippines is a tropical country, right?
Right.
Sunny, clear skies. So we're all there. We're all playing. All the cousins are playing. And this was the funeral was being done at the house, right? So her body's in the house. All of a sudden, out of complete nowhere, big gust of fucking wind blows all of the flowers down. And we're all like, we thought that maybe it was like the fan or something. And then my uncle, who had just passed away, may his soul rest in peace, comes in and says, "Did you guys see that?" We're like, "What are you talking about? Like, did you guys see that big gray cloud that just passed by? Now it's gone." We're like, we're indoors, we can't see that. You know what I mean? Like, no one's gonna see that. And a lot of people have said, and no one, everybody just wanted to write it up as, oh, it's just a weird occurrence. But somebody kept saying, it's her basically saying, let me go. Like, fucking bury the shit out of me at this point. I'm fucking tired of this shit. And I do believe that people kind of just write things off because, like Jacqueline had said earlier, you rationalize things.
Well, exactly.
You know what I mean? But how can you rationalize something that's completely irrational?
When you can't find any other reason for it other than what it seems like it is. Yeah.
I just always pin it on just your mind playing tricks on you, being scared. I spent a summer working at a cemetery, and part of my job was vacuuming the mausoleum. Now, the mausoleum, it gets busy. There's always people in and out, but obviously we weren't allowed to work in there while there was people. So I'd be in there vacuuming, and I'd hear coughing and sneezing, and I'd go to look to see where the people were so I could know where not to go and work, and nothing. Yeah. Nothing. I don't know. It was working at the cemetery was fun. It was kind of creepy, but I mean,
if you think about hauntings, why would there be any ghosts in a cemetery?
Well, that's
most people don't die in a cemetery, right?
But we were a Catholic cemetery, so there's always that element of that religious aspect. That and like I did a lot of work in the baby section, and that place always. Yeah, and that place always kind of weirded me out. Again, I don't know if it was just me and my own kind of like, I guess, sorrow.
Well, the idea of children, babies.
Well, exactly. Like it was that was the absolute worst part of the job. Like watching grieving mothers fucking throw themselves on a casket no bigger than a shoebox. Yeah, it was fucked up. But I don't know, that mausoleum always creeped me out. The guys there would constantly tell fucking stories of their experiences and shit like that. And again, though, I was always like, you guys are just trying to fuck with me. But when people that I know now that are working there with nobody that I knew, and they're saying the same kind of shit, it's like, maybe there is some truth to this stuff.
You know what I hate with this is the thing. Okay, so when I read like groups of actual paranormal investigators that consider them investigators, and they go out, don't use orbs because it's not an orb. It's a fucking piece of dust reflecting light. Okay? That's not evidence. Stop saying it's an orb. Yeah. Unless you have a video of a fucking red or green or weird colored light that didn't exist naturally zooming by in a weird pattern.
Well, and that's it.
Like, maybe then I'll think about it, but a fucking flash of white, and there's 20 of them and you're in a dusty basement. Right. That's dust.
You're outside, it's windy out, it's spring, you take a picture at nighttime, you see all these orbs, and it's like, no, that's pollen coming off the tree, you dumb fuck.
Or it's wintertime. Oh, that's your breath. That's not a ghost. That's your breath. You have to think about these things. Or if you're smoking, hold your breath before you take the picture.
I don't know. There is definitely an influx of the paranormal investigators, though. That's for sure. I'd like
to join a group, though. I think it'd be kind of fun. Except I feel like those people would be so too much into it, and they'd be like, "That's an orb," and I'd be like, "No," and then they'd be like, "Get out of our group because you're too,
skeptical." Yeah.
Skeptical, yes, that's the word.
The only way that I will full on fucking believe is if I see it with my own eyes, and I mean actual see it, not just a quick glance. You know what I mean? Like with my experience with the buddy in the Canadian tuxedo. If I was able to turn my head and continue to see this thing, I would be a full out believer.
How come we can't get any real pictures of ghosts though?
It's weird, right?
Because maybe they don't want to be photographed. Maybe they feel fat.
Well, no, I'm not saying. I'm just asking why. Maybe it's because we don't have our cameras at the time. In all honesty, when I only ever saw one thing, and that was my father. The flickers were in my eyes. I don't know if they were really existing, but I didn't have a camera. We didn't have camera phones back then either, right? But
I kind of look at it it's just that we're not looking at it in the right spectrum. Obviously, everything that we do, especially within regards to visualization, stems from our spectrum of light. Now we can't take pictures of electricity except for lightning, because lightning, obviously, it's a spectrum that we can view. So if it does kind of rely on, like, at least of what I believe that a ghost would be, which is just leftover energy, we need to figure out a way to be able to photograph that without like an electron microscope. Because I know we can take pictures of protons and neutrons and shit like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's under extreme fucking magnification. You can't do that with a camera.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the next step. Like I noticed I watch that Ghost Hunter show fucking every once in a while, just when I'm trying to go to sleep because it's boring as fuck.
I used to watch that before bed too.
Yeah, it just puts me right to sleep. It's boring as shit. But I noticed now they're using was it VR? I think they call it. Not VR. It's a purple spectrum of light. They believe that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think that's the best way of going about it.
Do you ever watch Ghost Brothers?
No, I can't say I have.
You know what? It's actually hysterical. But they have a couple of technology things I've never seen. They have one, I don't know what they call it. But what it does is it'll film a room. And so if one of the ghost bros is standing in the room, it kind of makes like a stick figure shape of his body. And if he moves his arm, the stick figure moves his arm. And so you can see that. And then basically if another stick figure shows up behind him or beside him or in front of him, then they say that means that there's a ghost or something in the room, which is kind of neat. It's kind of neat to see that. And then the other thing they have is it's kind of like a spirit box, but it's like an app that I guess or a machine, and they let it run, and then the ghost can talk through the machine, and it'll say things like demon or you know, I don't know. I like watching those kind of shows. Ghost Brothers is funny only because it's instead of being so serious, they're like, you know, like the one guy's like, demons, I am not going to be involved with no Satan, and he'll just leave. Right?
And that's one of those things that, like, even I find hard to refute. The what are they called? When they catch the voices.
EVPs?
Yeah, I don't understand how you can refute that. You know, I do think that a lot of what they think is being said is speculation.
Mm-hmm.
That's up for that's up for interpretation, because sometimes it doesn't sound like anything to me.
Yeah, but that's one of those ones where I'm like, how do you?
But you hear it sometimes. You hear it, and you'll hear like, no, and you're like, whoa, I heard that before even they got it on the recording. You can hear it audibly in the room. So if they're being on the up and up, and there's nobody else in the room whispering the word no, like the cameraman or the producer or the sound guys, you know. Did you ever see the one where they what's the Grant? Is that the guy's name on Ghost Hunters with the dark hair?
Grant. Yeah,
the darker hair guy. How they caught him faking. So there's a part where he's in some dark place, obviously, and he's acting like the hood of his jacket is being pulled, but his hand is in his pocket each time it happens, and you can see his arm move a little bit, like they've got some sort of setup. Like a string being pulled or something. So I don't know.
Well, let's face it. These guys on TV, they're doing it for a fucking paycheck. So
they gotta get something. Exactly. They can't always be like, we didn't find anything, guys.
Right. To me, it just gets it gets really fucking like messy to me when they start bringing in like the psychics and shit like that. That's when I'm like, nah, fuck out of here. Like, I don't know. I don't believe in psychics.
I do and I don't. Because I do think there's psychic capability, but I think most of the real psychics are not these ones that you see on TV and stuff.
No, not at all.
I do somewhat believe in psychics. I will say that, because someone had just freaked me out with what they did to me not too long ago. So that really kind of freaked me out. But I agree. I don't think all of them are. I think some of them are like just storefront.
Like gypsies. Sylvia Brown. Total whack.
That bitch was fucking crazy. The only thing that I liked that she said was the planes of reality. How there's 14 planes of reality, and that's what we're seeing when people see fucking leprechauns or that kind of shit. It kind of does make sense to me, because again, I am a personal believer in the multiverse. I don't believe that our universe is the only one. I was
just about to say that. Do you think that there's a multiverse, and do you think it's like the verses where like there's infinite?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
so like
truly
if
do.
I turn left instead of going right, I've created a whole new universe.
Well, I heard this theory a little while ago, and it's what kind of got me on this this thing called a phase transition. Now, we've all experienced this in our lives, although you might not notice it. Like, you ever take a bottle of water or a beer or something like that out of the fridge, and it's liquid, but the moment you crack it, instantly it's ice?
Yeah.
That's what's called a phase transition. And this one astrophysicist was saying that's how he believes that our universe came to be. That when the Big Bang happened, there was actually no matter. It was all dark and black matter. and then a phase transition occurred, and boom, matter came into existence. He was also saying that through that phase transition, that could have been the cause of the multiverse. Again, I'm not a physicist. I can't really explain it, but it was really fucking cool. It was really cool. But yeah, I mean, like, again, there has been sightings, if you want to call them sightings, or stories throughout fucking human history. Since we were able to scribble on a fucking cave wall, we were talking about these weird shit that we've seen. So there has to be some validity to it.
In another universe, I'm tall and skinny and married to Idris Elba.
Yeah.
In another universe, I am not Ryan.
Exactly.
Like, no, I do believe, I've always said this since I was young, and I think this is why I'm kind of a little bit afraid of like the world ending and all that stuff and all the imagination I have. We can't be the only ones. Now, whether the only ones are like kind of the conversation we had some weeks ago about like aliens and stuff, whether the only ones are just us or maybe even like a multi-universe or whatever, we can't be, because it's
too great and too unknown.
Yeah, exactly.
Like just like the ocean, we've only researched about 20%, if
not even
the ocean.
5% of the world's water has been like thoroughly mapped.
Yeah,
which really only leaves us with our fresh water.
Yeah, and even some freshwater. They still haven't found the Arrow in the Lake Ontario.
Yeah, but like I said, that's because it's not there anymore.
Yeah, it must be, because why isn't it there?
Yeah, well,
it's interesting, like it's a crazy, interesting universe we live in.
I would just love some actual irrefutable proof. I really would. I would love to see something that is convincing, and not even just regards to the paranormal, but to extraterrestrial life, anything. I would just love to see the shakeup that it gives the world when we realize that these myths, these stories are true. Like they are anchored in a realm of truth. Because I do believe that. I do believe that there are things that happen that we do not fucking understand.
That's why part of me always wishes, as much as I don't believe in God, part of me still in my heart wishes that there's a heaven, so that when we die, we become kind of all-knowing and we know these things. I don't want to die not knowing everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair. But at the same point in time, like, my whole gripe with that is billions and billions and billions of people have died.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense to me that you would get the knowledge of the universe fucking 200,000 years ago.
Yeah.
But even like,
you wouldn't be able to comprehend it. Yeah, true enough.
I don't know. There's some weird things, like, I was saying how I watched that Ancient Aliens show, and fucking they were going off about this thing called the London Hammer that was fucking found in limestone. The limestone would have taken about 1.4 or 140 million years, to form around this hammer. And it's a fucking flat out hammer. It is carbon steel with a wooden handle. The woods even start to petrify.
Time travel.
Right? Isn't that fucked up?
That is crazy.
The world is full of mysteries, and I think that's maybe what we should discuss on next Wednesday. Maybe we should find like the most enthralling mystery to us, and maybe try to freak each other out.
Well, I already have my enthralling mystery why I'm not the most beautiful person in the world yet, but what the
fuck? Okay, well, that's a good way to wrap it up. Thanks for listening. Sorry we were late. Sorry some of us were even later. I will be here for Monday and Wednesday's show, and then after that I'm going on vacation, and I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see if somebody will host a show or whatever. I'll be here on Sunday with Justin for our TV attack, and I don't know what's going on. We might go into hiatus with that. But hopefully you continue to look for us and like and comment and share, and have a good week. We'll see you.
Take care.
Take care. See you.